This particular slides will look at how you can calculate or compute for your sample size. Now this video is for all my students in Research 1, not just business planning. So this is applicable to thesis, project study, and business plan. So the very first thing about understanding why you need to get a sample size is for the use of your market survey or your survey in general. So here, majority of the students, kalimitan, they opt to use primary data gathering. I have mentioned in a previous video for business planning. Now we have two types of data. You have primary data and secondary data. Secondary data are data readily available coming from agencies, the government, statistical offices, companies through financial statements, or schools through grades by the registrar or evaluation of teachers, something like that. So, ang secondary data ay hindi ang researcher mismo ang kumuha. Instead, siya ay kinuha ng ibang tao and you're just going to use the readily available data. While primary data gathering, ang researcher mismo ang kumuha through a survey or other data gathering strategies like focus groups or interview or through telemarketing, for example. So, kayo mismo ang kumuha ng data na gagamitin nyo for your research. So, the very first thing you need to know when you are trying to calculate a sample size is first the population size. So what is population and what is a sample? Of course, the population is your target or the main subject of your study. So if you are trying to conduct a thesis on voters' behavior, syempre, yung population size are the voters. So maybe 18 years old and above. Alright? So, ang kailangan mo ay kumuha ng data coming from the mayor's office or the PSA or Philippine Statistical Authority para malaman ang size, ang voters, size ng population ng mga voters. So, ang population natin dito, syempre iba-iba. We are not only referring to a population of a city or a state or a country, but the population of your target respondents. So, in our example ay voters. So, ngayon, hindi pa pwedeng buong populasyon ng Pilipinas dahil hindi naman lahat ng tao ay voters. So, 18 years old and above, yun ang iyong kailangang data. So, you have to get it from agencies. Now, bakit tayo gagamit ng secondary data? Para lang makompute ang ating sample size. At ang sample size ay yan ang laki ng o dami ng mga kailangan mong i-survey if you are getting primary data from your actual sources. So, ang population size natin, for example, voters population, let's say 60 million. Alright? Kaya ba nating i-survey lahat ng mga yon? Of course not. Kaya pumapasok ang sample. A sample, by definition, is a mirror image of the population. Okay? Now, another example, for example, ang iyong population ay buong Westmead College Department. Yan ang population mo. So, ang ating population sa Westmead, let's say about 1,500. Kaya bang i-survey yun? Actually, kaya yon given time. Pero, kung halimbawa ay population ng isang, halimbawa ng UP system, at sila ay, let's say, 10,000, 10,000 ang mga estudyante, kaya bang i-survey yun? Siguro hindi, kasi sobrang laki na nun. Kaya kukuha ka ng sample. Halimbawa, ang population, ang iyong target respondents, o ang iyong study, ang subject of your study ay Batangas City residents. So, that would include 0 age up to and above. So, ibig sabihin, napakalaki ng population ng Batangas Province, ng Batangas City. So, ngayon, kaya mo bang i-survey about isang tao sa Batangas City? Of course not. Kaya ka kukuha ng sample. The idea is, kapag buong population ang tinanong mo, there is no margin of error. Kasi nakuha mo lahat ang opinion ng bawat isa. Pero kapag ikaw ay kumuha ng sample, since randomly selected sila and hindi mo natanong lahat, nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na margin of error. Yan ang sunod na dapat mong alam. So, a sample ay they are the number of the sample is representative of the population. Na kung anumang sabihin ng sample and considering the margin of error ay more or less, yun din ang isasagot kung tinanong mo bawat isa sa population. O sige, let's take again Westmead for example. Sabihin na natin hindi mo sinurvey yung 1,500 na students. Kumuha ka lang ng representative from the different groups inside the college department. So kukuha ka ng first year, second year, third year, fourth year, fifth year, and then kukuha ka ng business ad, engineering, IT, eduk. So yung mga yon ay instead na tatanungin mo ang buong SEBA department o buong business department, ay kumuha ka lang ng mga 10 o 20 na nagre-represent ng iba't ibang grupo dun sa loob ng business department. Alright? Na kung ano man ang sabihin ng isang first year business major taking marketing, instead na tanungin mo yung 100 batang first year na nagme-marketing major, ay yung sagot ng isang yon will represent their whole group. Alright? Pero syempre, lagi ka kasing may mamimiss. Kasi nga, hindi mo naman tinanong yung buong 100. Para lang sinasabi mo na yung iyong representative na isa ay more or less, ang kanyang behavior at ang kanyang assessment dun sa mga tanong mo, ay ganun na din yung assessment nung 99 o nung 99. Okay? With a certain margin of error. Okay? So the idea of the sample is kung anong sabihin ng sample, yun din ang posibleng sabihin ng population at a certain margin of error. Meaning, the sample is a mirror image of the population or the sample represents the population. So ano naman yung mga margin of errors natin? Iba't iba. Depende rin sa field of study. For the social sciences, at dito sa atin, ang kalimitan natin ginagamit ay 5% or 10% or 1% margin of error. So, ibig sabihin, kapag 10% margin of error, 10% kung nag-survey ka ng 100, ay 10% nung sagot nung 100 na yon ay probably not true. Or it does not represent the population that much. That's the margin of error. Kapag halimbawa, nag-survey ka ng 100 at ang margin of error mo ay 10%, ibig sabihin, yung sinabi ng 100 yon, hindi siya 100%, kung hindi 90% lang na reflective of the whole population. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, kapag tinignan mo ang 10%, 5%, and 1%, anong kaya ang pinakamagandang margin of error? Siyempre, yung mas maliit. Kapag ang kinuha mo ay 5% margin of error, then out of the 100, 5% of the time lang, hindi reflective ang sample sa kung anong sasabihin ng population. More so kung 1%. Ibig sabihin, 1% of the time lang, hindi reflective ang sample sa sasabihin ng population. Which is then related to our degree of confidence. If there is a 5% margin of error, therefore, you are only 95% confident that the sample is a mirror image of the population. Again, let me repeat that. For example, you took a 5% margin of error, okay? Para ma-compute ang iyong sample size. Yun ay ang pinanggagalingan natin ay hindi natin masasurvey ang buong population na 1,500. Kaya magsasample ka lang. Okay? So ngayon, sinurvey mo ang sample using a 5% margin of error. That means you are only 99% confident that the sample will give the same answer as the population. Okay? So if you took a 1% margin of error, you are 99% confident that the sample reflects the population. Okay? So sana malinaw kung anong purpose ng sample at bakit importanteng alam mo itong tatlong ito. Okay? Para makakuha ka ng sample size, kailangan mo ng population size. Kailangan mo rin at pupipili ka ng margin of error para ma-determine mo din ang iyong degree of confidence. So, halimbawa, Batangas City. Estimate natin ang Batangas City na about 350,000 people. Okay? At ang target subject of the study mo ay Batangas City residents. Okay? Wag na muna natin tingnan yung mga age. Basta sabihin na lang muna natin na buong Batangas City residents ang iyong target na subject. Okay? So, 350,000, that is the size of the population. Alright? Now, ang margin of error na pinili natin, 5%. Therefore, ang iyong degree of confidence, okay, ay 95%. Alright? So, halimbawa, hindi buong Batangas City, gusto mo lang ay Batanggenya, mga babae lang. Let's say out of the 350,000, ang mga Batanggenya ay 210,000. Mas kukunti ang lalaki. Sige, sabihin natin kunwari. Halimbawa, ang mga Batanggenya lang ang iyong gustong tanungin, mga babae lang na taga Batangas. Then, ang iyong population ngayon ay mas kukunti, syempre, kasi tatanggalin mo yung lahat ng mga lalaki. At let's say, ang mga Batanggenya ay 210,000. Then, your population becomes 210,000. Halimbawa, ang gusto mong margin of error ay 10%. Di ang iyong degree of confidence ay 90% confident. Now, importante ito kapag i-discuss mo na ang iyong results of the study. So, paano mag-compute? Dati, ang laging ginagamit ay ang Slovene formula. Pero ngayon, hindi na natin siya ina-advise kasi meron ng mas academically accepted na mga statistical formula to compute for the sample size. And I'll give you two. But there are others. So, itong dalawang ito ay we can use them as sample size calculator. You can use G-Power and Quatrix. G-Power ay meron na tayo sa ating statistical office. Pwede kayong pumunta doon. At ang Quatrix naman ay you can see in the internet. So, it looks like this. Okay? And ito yung kanilang sample size calculator. It looks like that. Okay? Ilalagay mo ang iyong confidence level. So, tingnan niyo yung confidence level niya ay 95%. Therefore, the margin of error out of 100 is 5%. Pag pinagsama mo sila, 100% ka. Eh, hindi naman pwedeng kapag nag-sample ka ay 100%. Kasi, that means, hindi ka nag-sample. Buong population ng iyong tinanong. And then, ang sinample kong population size dito ay 350,756. Kunwari. So, the more that you change your population size and the confidence level and the margin of error, ay nakakakuha ka ng ideal sample size. So, check out this website and ito naman kanilang online na formula na to ay may basis for calculation na more or less pinag-aralan natin sa statistics subject natin kung paano na-derive yan using a certain formula na I will not discuss in this particular class. So, yun ay na-discuss na natin sa ating statistics class. So, the sample size calculator, this is very helpful for you in determining ganong kalaki ang aking sample. Okay? Hopefully, you can already start computing for your sample size. Now, I note that we are still on lockdown, kaya posibleng hindi ka makakuha ng iyong population size. Ang population size mo, kailangan ay valid ang source. Halimbawa, Batangas City, kukunin mo sa munisipyo. Alright? At yun ay nire-request. Or, you can go to the website of Batangas City and tingnan mo baka nandoon ang data. Or, easier din, puntahan mo ang ating library at normally, yung previous batch ay meron doong population data. Tingnan mo lang kung, kasi normally ang census naman is every 4 years. So, pwede pa rin yung gamitin. Estimate lang din naman. Okay? So, yan ang ating sample size. Good luck with your computation and your calculation. Thank you.